Did you see it, the West Ham game or any of it?
Yeah, I watched the highlights earlier. I've got some notes about it actually.
Mate, watching West Ham is like being in an abusive relationship.
It is.
Like every week, like, they'll change, they'll get better, they'll be right. And then every week it's the same fucking dog shit.
They start drinking and they start beating you.
Yeah, exactly. And they apologise and tell me they love me Monday morning.
And you go all the way back.
Yeah, exactly that.
You just never learn.
Welcome back to the Sunday League Effect. We have returned from our little hiatus.
We had an international break.
Mate, that was so shit. It was so bad. I didn't even watch the games. But myself and Nicholas, I want a full name now. It fits. Are back. Apologies we didn't bring you an episode in between with the international break. Both of us were working fuckloads. And to be honest, the last international break when we did one,
it was really short. There was nothing to talk about. We were forcing it.
How many top 11? How many England 11s can you do?
I can't just do the same episode.
Exactly.
We should have just done that. Just put a repeat on.
To be fair, next one, because there's another one next month.
Of course.
At least we can talk about Thomas Tuchel a little bit. We won't talk about it now.
Yeah. Although that is, I'm sure anybody who is watching already knows, but obviously Thomas Tuchel becoming the England manager is obviously breaking news. It was when it first came out. The Carsley? Yeah, Carsley. Good. Fuck off. Yeah. In all honesty.
Yeah. Southgate reincarnated, basically.
I like Southgate better.
Oh, fuck you now.
But I've had longer to like him better.
Yeah, that's true. You're forced to. Yeah. We'll go straight into the weekend's performances because there is a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about most of the games today because...
Well, we both said that there'd be a lot of goals this weekend on our Super 6, and we were right. There was a lot of goals, and there's a lot of talking points, a lot of disciplinary issues. So we'll dive straight in with Wolves Man City.
The obvious thing to talk about is the goal in the last minute for Man City. What did you think about it, first of all?
I find it quite a debatable one. But in all honesty, I would say that because it's City, they were going to get the goal every time. Yeah, well, I mean, the preferential treatment for the top 6 teams or top 4 teams or even the top 2 teams in the country has been around for decades. Like Fergie had it with Fergie time. A penalty wasn't given away at United or Anfield for like 40 years. Yep.
You can't tell me that's not just down to
good luck or good tackling. It's not. There's always preferential treatment to them.
And that's fine. Like it's systematic. Like we've become accustomed to it. Neither of us have supported a big club.
No.
So we're used to it. We used to go into these fortresses that are made fortresses, partly to do with the teams,
and
partly to do with the crowd, but mainly to do with the aura and the refs.
Yep.
So it was always going to be a debatable goal, like however it went in. But I wanted to point out, regardless of what you think, whether it was a foul, whether you think he was impeding the keeper or not, I wanted to point out the intelligence of Bernardo Silva.
Because to make the run in and
because this is going to be overlooked and no one's going to look at it. But his intelligence, I don't think many players out there would have it to not only put himself in front of the keeper, but then to duck away out of the keeper, not just duck straight down. Because if he ducks straight down, I think it's given as a foul.
Yeah,
because he's still directly in front of the keeper. But because he moves to the side slightly, he's not anywhere near the line of vision.
Yeah, when you look at it from obviously the VAR's angle, they will look at it and go, well, technically, actually, no, he's not in the view. And I think Bernardo Silva always knew that as long as he's in front of Stones will get that. Yeah, it's
just first contact. Obviously, they practice it. That you disrupt the keeper and at first contact, you get out of the way. Yeah. However you want to do that. But we've all played football, and I assume most people that are watching this have played football. When you're in the game, in those moments, it's so easy to forget the stuff that are your bread and butter on the training ground. Yeah. So that little 100%. Shift to the left or that little duck isn't as easy as what it looks to do it in the right time. Like it's point. I freeze framed it yesterday when I was at work, and it's down to I think 0.2 of a second the difference between him heading the ball and Silva moving.
Really?
So that's how small the difference is. And if he stands there, I think Salah probably saves it, because he's right down the middle. If Bernardo Silva doesn't move, I think he saves it. Yeah. So that would be my argument for maybe it should have been disallowed.
I mean, we've seen this in the past, and we've seen it disallowed.
West Ham had it last year against Wolves. We should have lost.
Absolutely, and it's But again, it becomes the preferential treatment for the bigger clubs. At the end of the day, it wasn't the most exciting game apart from the fact that I thought at one point Wolves might get something out of it.
Yeah, well, when you text me saying Wolves are 1-0 up, I didn't go, oh wow, Wolves are 1-0 up. I went, because City go behind quite a lot. Like this season, have gone behind. I don't know. I might be making this up. I have no idea. They seem to go behind a lot more than what they normally do.
Yeah,
but you never fear for them. You never think they're not gonna pull it back.
It's always one of those that they could be 2-0 down in the 36th minute. I'd still put a bet on them to win.
Aston Villa, was it last year? Were 2-0 up, or the year before?
Yeah.
And they came back for it 1-3-2 with like 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
And you never doubted it.
No.
Like it's not a surprise.
Because this is just what they do. They seem to fight better when they're losing. I also think that Fergie time has now swapped over to them. It's swapped to the other side of Manchester. Because they always seem to have a massive amount of extra time at the end, especially when they're losing or they're drawing.
I think it's almost a tactic because Pep, obviously against Arsenal, said that Arteta and Arsenal were masters of the dark arts. I disagree. I think City are. The way that they
100%.
The way that they seem to get away with bombarding the ref with every decision, they seem to stop at the perfect time, at the point where they're not meant to, where they would be getting booked.
Yeah,
they win those. They have the players to win those horrible fouls like Doku, Grealish, Silva. Those little fouls that are nothing. Like they just feel the slightest contact and they go down.
They're touched and they
exactly. And because they keep the ball in play so much, because they don't play off set pieces like most clubs do nowadays.
No,
they want the ball on the pitch, which is lovely. Because they're 90% of the time in the final third of the opposition. That extra Fergie time that you're talking about is inevitable because they're in the final third. So the ref can't blow the whistle if they're on the edge of the opposition box. It has to be...
They have to be further enough away, don't they? Yeah.
And the ball retention at Man City is the best ball retention we've seen in the Premier League ever.
Yeah, but that's because they brought over the Spanish tiki-taka football. The boring football. I like tiki-taka.
I never liked it. I didn't like it at Spain. I didn't like it at Barcelona.
That's the thing. I like it in Spanish football, La Liga. Watching Barcelona and Real Madrid do it, it looks really good because they've got a lot of very good technical players. Yeah. Over here, we like good, solid, rough football.
I miss who was the player that for Man City who smashed Pedro Mendes? I mean, he Ben Thatcher. He came with his like an elbow and he like obliterated him. If he died, it would have been done for murder. It was horrible, but
that's English football.
Yeah, we missed those players.
That is why Sunday League is so much more popular.
Yeah. Well,
because it's just solid football.
Yeah. Look, prime example, right? This Sunday, Mel and the kids are away, so I'm on my own Sunday. I'm not going to stay in and watch football. I'm going to go to see my mum and dad and go watch a Sunday League game with my dad.
No,
that's what I'd rather do.
Do it. Like non-league, even like Saturday non-league teams.
You have to, not like proper Sunday League is dog shit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you're just watching men run around who are too fat.
Not run around,
roll around. No technical ability. Apart from that, they'll always have one kid. Yeah. They'll have one winger who's just rapid.
Probably like the son of like the centre midfielder or the goalkeeper.
And he's just really good. And the only reason he's still playing there is because he's related to someone.
Exactly.
Otherwise he'd have left.
On that note, our giveaway is still going. End of the month, we'll pick a winner. We've got a bit of an announcement that we'll do at the end because I haven't told Nick how we're going to do this announcement, but we'll do it at the end of the podcast. Great. If you want to get involved, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll pick 2 subscribers at the end of the month to come and watch Nick's team play. I'll explain why it's Nick's team later on in the video. We'll dive into the big game of the weekend, which was obviously the real derby. Watford-Luton.
I don't want to dive into that, to be honest. No.
And do you see what I did there? That's what good comedians do. It's called a callback. Yeah. When they throw something out and then they bring it back.
That's, but actually, I will touch on this very briefly because it's not part of our list. But I was talking to a Luton fan yesterday.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, he was very happy about the win.
Nick's a Watford fan, by the way.
If you didn't know.
If you didn't know that.
Anyway, and he was saying that actually the game was shit. Although it was 3-0, because I didn't watch it because I was playing and working in between. And I'm quite glad I didn't, to be honest. But he was saying that Luton was shit and we were just shitter. And it's the only reason he thinks that they won is because of mistakes that Watford made.
Dogfest.
Yeah.
Just a slugfest and they just...
That was literally it. So yeah, to round it up, basically it was a shit derby. But
shit championship football, 2 shit championship teams.
Championship football's good.
Some games are. I've watched a lot of Sunderland actually, they're quite good. But anyway, on to the actual big game of the weekend. Liverpool, Chelsea.
Yep.
What did you, before the game started, what would have your expectations have been of that game?
I thought there'd be, if not goals, shots on target. I thought there'd be a lot of attacking football. I kind of was edging more towards Chelsea coming out.
Really?
Only because Liverpool, they're a very good team, but Chelsea have been like on this massive bounce back.
Yeah.
And I thought they might just have momentum behind them to just go out there. Not running ragged, but maybe like a literally a one goal.
I think Chelsea are definitely going to be, what you're alluding to, one of those teams that will have a phenomenal month.
Yeah.
But then they'll lose to Southampton and Ipswich or something like that. And then they'll sort of pinball between the barriers of good and dog shit all season, but they'll probably be there or thereabouts. I don't personally agree, but I think that's what you were trying to say, right?
That's basically what I was going at.
And they're at the
at the moment, they're on the up, they're on the good.
What I'd like the game to would be like the master versus the prodigy, Mo Salah and Cole Palmer.
Yeah,
I think it just shows the levels that's needed in these big games. Like Cole Palmer, I've never seen him have a bad game, and I wasn't a massive fan of Cole Palmer.
No, I remember.
Even after last season, I wasn't in the full Cole Palmer bandwagon. But this season, he's changed my mind. In 7 games, he's changed my mind. On Sunday, that's the first time I've seen Cole Palmer out of a game, and what I mean by that is that Curtis Jones did a phenomenal job
keeping him quiet.
Yeah, Cole Palmer had 1 chance in the first half that fell to him in the box, and who stuck a leg out? Curtis Jones. And what I mean by the master and the prodigy, just to run it back, is Mo Salah and Cole Palmer. Obviously, I don't know if I said that. I might have already.
Yeah.
Mo Salah wasn't terrific. Wasn't at his very best.
No.
Got a penalty, assisted the goal, and arguably could have had a penalty against Colwell.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer did nothing. I don't recall him doing anything.
So watching over that game and things, Cole Palmer was kept very quiet. And I think it kind of goes to show that realistically, although Chelsea are very good and they've got a lot of talent in that team, they rely a lot on Cole Palmer.
They're a one-man bandwagon.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Because he's not like Lionel Messi.
No.
He's not that kind of difference maker. He is a very, very good footballer.
Of course.
And he is more than just a penalty merchant, which I will hold my hand up and say he was.
But I think last season he was.
I think he was largely.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why you're taking penalties in a Chelsea team that's star-studded.
Yeah, of course. You've got to show that you're better than everyone else doing it.
And he's just got a lot to learn.
Yeah, but he's still young. I think he can be a great player.
He's going to have games like this.
Yeah, but everyone does. I mean, Erling Haaland does.
Well, Erling Haaland, he's not done anything in the last 3 games.
No.
But he scored 10 in the first 5, so it doesn't matter.
He's slowing down and he's just like, I'll be right.
Give the rest of the league a chance. But yeah, from a neutral point of view, I think it was a very good game.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Could have gone either way at times. I think Liverpool were the better team.
Overall,
I say I think they were the better team. I actually think they probably they've done more to win the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes down to Curtis Jones though.
Yeah.
He keeps quiet their one man, as well as he scored the second, didn't it? Mm-hmm. So he scored the winner. Yeah,
and he won the penalty that got overturned as well.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, that one that got overturned it wasn't a penalty.
Is it a clear and obvious mistake? This is my issue with VAR now. That because of the
They're getting involved a bit too much.
Because of the wording of VAR, clear and obvious. Yes, Sanchez got a slight touch on the ball, but my argument would be, this is a completely neutral argument as well. Yeah. Like I don't have a horse in a race, I don't care.
Yeah.
Was Curtis Jones going to get there afterwards? I don't think he was.
The thing is obviously keepers are very well protected.
Too protected.
Yeah.
Which is why going back to the City game, I was quite glad as a neutral to see it given.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was a foul.
No.
Anyway, carry on.
But in that situation, I think it's too close for VAR not to get involved. I think it was, and again, it's a big game.
Yeah. They're
going to get involved because it would be too controversial. If they didn't get involved.
I think what we need to understand as viewers is how the VAR discussion goes. Like, what are they looking at? What are they basing it on? Are they basing it on his approach to it, or are they basing it just on the impact and just on where the ball goes? Because if you break it down, Curtis Jones doesn't really know what he's doing. It's one of those when you're running at a defender and your brain just sort of goes, I don't know what to do.
Like, so where do I go now?
So you sort of just run straight into them and you lose the ball. That's what it looked like. So are they taking that into account? Because he doesn't make an effort to touch it round him. He just toes it through, straight through and went through his legs.
I think when you're looking at it, I'm pretty sure that Sanchez gets a touch on that ball and then it hits his foot and goes through. So in that instance, I'd say no, it's not a penalty because keeper's got to it first. Momentum, the keeper's on the ground. Curtis Jones could try and jump. Yeah. Doesn't. Hits
he
the
sort
keeper,
of runs straight into him. Yeah.
Rolls over.
I think he was crowded out and they probably came to the right decision. My question was just in terms of probably more of what's later to come. Like, are they getting involved in too much? Like, is it clear and obvious?
I see what you mean. It's
the penalty that was given was a penalty.
Yeah,
I think there's an argument for Mo Salah to have a penalty before that one, where he's down the right with Cole. Cole has a little what's the word? A little niggle out on the byline. Salah goes down but gets past him, gets back up onto his feet, gets into the box, and then he's obviously looking for the penalty because he's off balance. But I'd say Cole trips him again. Like, he steps across him. There's contact. He's not making an effort for the ball. Again, if it's given, I'm not saying it's not a penalty. If it's not given, I'm not too bothered. But it's something worth looking at.
It is one of those that you could look at and go, that could go either way, depending again on the referee, how lenient they are, how soft they are.
I think the ref did a good job, to be honest.
I think he controlled it very well. I think he made the right decisions.
Even with the toss-in incident?
No.
So you think that's a straight red?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a straight red because of the Arsenal red that we'll talk about later, or do you think in isolation,
actually,
is it a red?
No. So let me take that back. I don't think it's red. I think it's a yellow.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go and see Arsenal one later. Yeah. But the reason you got that I don't think it's a red is, yes, he may be last man, but he's also at the halfway line.
Yeah. That
gives any player on that pitch a long time to try and cover.
Yeah.
And although they'll say, but it's a goal scoring opportunity. No, it's not.
Well, where it differs slightly from the Arsenal one, again, we'll touch on, is there's not distance between Tosin and Jota. Like, he's on his way past Tosin, but Tosin, I think, has the recovery pace to get back in.
Yeah.
And even if he doesn't, Colwell's covering. The angle helps as well. It's not directly in the middle of the pitch. He hasn't got the whole goal to aim at. Also, if VAR looked at it, I think Jota makes contact first. Like,
he leans
like across. He's got hold of Tosin's shorts like this, and he pulls Tosin's leg
to sort of bring it into him
as he goes. And whether that's a planned movement or whether it's just a trajectory of him falling,
just as you're running,
I don't know. But I know Jota hasn't got blistering pace. I'm not too sure about Tosin, to be fair, but I don't think it's a goal scoring opportunity. In isolation, I don't think it's a red card. I think yellow card is
yellow card is fine.
Not in hindsight. This is just going back again to Curtis Jones. England call up on the cards. He's not had an England call up yet. I thought he would have. 23 years old, still young.
Nothing.
Not one. Curtis Jones is I think he's overlooked a lot because of his neat and tidy
team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it speaks volumes that we're picking players like Conor Gallagher over him. Because Curtis Jones, for me, is a far better player.
I think that is where Thomas Tuchel will come in and make changes. And I think it'll be good.
Did Gallagher get his debut at Chelsea under Tuchel, though? Did he make his break into the team with Tuchel? I think he did in that system.
But difference is, you've got a lot more English players.
You've got better players to choose from.
Yeah.
But I think Curtis Jones deserves a call up.
I agree.
In that middle.
Yeah.
I think he could do a job. If I was a Chelsea fan, I would be really, really pleased with that. I know they lost, and it's an odd thing to say.
Do you know what? I was thinking exactly the same thing. But you've got the result didn't go your way.
No.
Fine. But the game, I don't think they played poorly.
They had more possession at Anfield.
Yeah.
In now a more possession-based Liverpool team.
Yeah. And
created chances. Their best player, their key player was marked out of the game, and they still had chances. Nicholas Jackson looks like a different player. Noni Madueke, back to, I think, the first ever podcast I did on my own. I spoke about Noni Madueke. being a world beater, and mark my words, he will be. That's up there with.
Look at you getting proven right.
Yep, I mean he's had like 4 good games, but still.
Yeah.
Madueke, he has all the attributes to be a phenomenal player.
I think Nicholas Jackson could have done better, to be honest.
It's easy to forget that he's quite young. He's only like 23. He looks like 40.
Very true. I also think that he is going to have issues soon with discipline.
He's mental. He's like Diego Costa, but angrier. Yeah. Diego Costa did it to wind other people up, I think, half the time.
Well, he got yellow carded for stepping into the box, basically trying to cheer on his keeper, but you know full well he's trying to get in Salah's head.
Exactly. It's just... He just looks like an angry man.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be angry as well if I'd played so poorly and now I'm playing better, but we're still losing the game.
On 80 grand a week? I wouldn't be. I'd be smiles and lights. You could tell me my left back. I'll be, yep, I'll do it.
You want me to go and go? No problem.
But what was I going to say? Did you see Sancho got pulled at half time?
Yeah, why was that?
He was poor. Trent was dictating where he went. Like, Trent made a run from right back into the centre-back position for Chelsea, and Sancho had to track him.
Yeah.
And Trent pulled away. Like, Trent's not particularly fast.
No.
But he was doing more work that way than he was the other way. He could have had a penalty, debatable. We're not going to talk about it too much because it
was a nothing.
Yeah. Yes, there's contact, but again, it would be... If they give it, they're looking into it too much. If the ref gives it, that's different. Okay. That's a different story, but VAR don't need to. Yeah. But he wasn't good. But I saw something. Did you see the clause that Man United put in his loan agreement? This is how confident they are that Jadon Sancho is an average footballer. No, so they put a obligation to buy for Chelsea if Chelsea finish above 12th.
Above 12th?
Above 12th.
That's like what they should be doing anyway.
How are they not? I don't know what the fee is, but I'm going to assume it's going to be about 35-40 million.
That's ridiculous.
And that's mental. Like, that's how confident they are that he's not very good.
Yeah.
Telling him to... Arguably, Man United want to be a top 4 team. Chelsea are probably closer to it right now.
Oh, 100%.
So they're selling it to direct rivals.
As long as they finish above mid-table.
Yeah. That's
in a team full of a lot of money and a lot of talent.
Yeah. The biggest controversy of the weekend, Bournemouth-Arsenal.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I watched the highlights.
I didn't watch 1 minute of it.
Did you not?
I watched Bournemouth-Arsenal. Why do I watch Bournemouth-Arsenal?
Did you not want to watch it when they were 1-0 down?
It was shit. I watched it for 10 minutes after the red card, and it was shit. Yeah. Arsenal sat in. Bournemouth didn't do anything.
But that's because it's Bournemouth.
Bournemouth were good. Against us, they're weird shit. But against most teams, they're good. But we'll go straight into it. Red card. White's covering.
Okay. The white covering part is not the reason why I don't think it's a red card. Because White...
It's more of a question mark. I'm not saying he is.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so White doesn't have that sort of pace.
We don't know if Evan Nilsson even has that pace.
No.
He could be like Emil Heskey running through. He's a new player to the Prem. We don't know much about him.
Very, 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 very true. But I don't think that White would have been able to get across. No, White was on the other side.
Yeah, I agree. He's got... Well,
even diagonally.
As a 7-year-old, you're taught what? Running straight lines in recovery.
Yeah.
So he has to cut across the pitch whilst Evan Nilsson's going straight.
Yeah.
By the law of physics, he's not going to catch him.
No.
Because he's not... That's the dog, by the way. If you can hear that, the dog's outside the door. He's just scratching. But he's not going to catch him.
No.
That wouldn't be for me why it's not a red card. I personally...
Yeah.
I don't think it's devil's advocate. I think it is a red card.
No. I hugely disagree.
Go on.
You're going to give a red card to one. Like you said, the referee in that game probably doesn't know a lot about this player. Mm-hmm. So, VAR.
But you can't take that into account.
Okay.
Because you can't base it on an individual, because then you're saying if Timo Werner, who can't finish, is that player, you're going to give a red card because of his pace.
Okay, I'll give you that. He is too far away from the goal for it to be a goal scoring opportunity unless the goalkeeper is by him on the halfway line.
Which he isn't.
No, the goalkeeper is in his goal.
But you're saying it's not... You're agreeing with me then?
No. So what I'm saying is it can't be a red card unless the goalkeeper is further away from his goal. Because you're not going...
Are you saying it is a red card or not a red card?
It's not a red card.
I'm saying it is.
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about?
Why is he agreeing? I get it now. Okay.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is that he would still
there needs to be a 50-50 chance that the keeper's going to get there for it not to be a red card, is what you're saying.
all we do, like what we don't know, because obviously the tackle, is he could have had a really heavy touch.
Yeah.
Keeper gets out and gets to it.
Yeah.
He's too far away from
he's a
the
professional footballer. So the first touch is irrelevant.
No. All right. What I'm trying to say is there's no goal scoring opportunity for me there unless he runs further.
If there's no goal scoring opportunity, then why is David Raya backtracking? Because he knows he's not going to get there.
Yeah, probably. But that doesn't. I could stand at the halfway line and
it's a foul.
Yeah, it's a foul.
He's the last man.
But he's not. He is last man. I'll give you that. But he's not last man in the goal scoring opportunity for me.
How can he be last man and not last man in the goal scoring opportunity?
Because he's too far away. It's a really high line. Matter.
He's front and centre. The ball's over. The ball's going to bounce midway between the halfway line and the 18-yard box. Evanilson's got to take one touch to set himself, one touch to control, one touch to set himself, and he's one-on-one with the keeper.
Okay. But he doesn't have to
he's going to be unimpeded because William Saliba, based on just we plateau every player, make him exactly the same, which is what VAR have to do to make decisions, to make it unbiased. He's got space. He's going to have 2 yards on Saliba because everyone's plateaued, everyone's the same. So he has enough time, and as a professional footballer in the Premier League, he's going to have the composure to set himself and get a shot away. At the bare minimum, he's going to get a shot away, which makes it a goal scoring opportunity. It doesn't matter how likely he is as a person to score. It's still a goal scoring opportunity.
Okay, but then going back to the Chelsea game,
yeah.
Why?
Because purely for me, where it is on the pitch, Tosin's out wide right. He's got to come across, and
he's not that wide right.
But he's not front and centre.
Yeah, but neither is Saliba.
Yes, he is.
No, they're to the right of the centre circle.
Yeah, but it's in the middle of the pitch. He's like wide. He's near the touchline.
It's literally 2 foot difference between that and the Chelsea one.
It's 10 foot.
It is.
And also, there's no distance between Jota and Tosin. There's already distance between Evanilson.
Not a great amount.
Saliba's the wrong side of him because Evanilson's made a great run across him. So he's had to chop back and go round him.
They're playing that high line.
Yeah, because he's had to go round. So Saliba's made 2 mistakes before even making a tackle because he's out of position. He's not stepped up with the rest of his back line. And then he's wrong side as Evanilson. He's made it too easy for Evan. If Evanilson makes the run across him and he trips him then no, it's not. But it's because he's turned him and then he's pulled him back. So when Evanilson makes the run across Saliba before a lot of what you'll see in freeze frames, obviously Saliba has to step for it to be where the foul's made. Yeah. If he makes the foul there as he steps, then it's not a red card because we don't know where the ball's going. Yeah. He could just say he ran into me, it's a yellow card and a foul. But because he's turned around, knowing full well now he's the wrong side of his man, he's then decided to pull him down. That's for me why it's a red card, that and where it is in the pitch. Because the decision he's made is based off of, oh shit, I'm wrong side.
Okay. I understand your point. I disagree, but I understand your point.
What do you guys think? Because I think the footballing world, these debates are you're never gonna get these ones right, like 100%. You're never gonna get everyone happy. So what do you guys think? Let us know.
Also, if you look at it from a championship point of view,
yeah,
because
Premier League or is it the championship?
So in the championship, right? You'll be there soon, don't worry.
We won't because there's far worse teams. Yeah, it's the only saving grace.
But if you looked at that in the championship, there's no VAR.
Yeah.
The on-field decision from the referee was that it was a yellow card. It's a foul and a yellow card.
Mm-hmm.
It's only because VAR got involved that it was...
Because he's not going to see the things that I've just explained.
Absolutely. But is VAR getting too involved there?
Is it clear and obvious?
But I mean, because
it's a big game.
He calls it a foul.
Yeah.
Right? He gives a yellow card.
See, if it stayed as a yellow, I don't think... We'd be talking about it. Is it a red? Maybe. That's probably the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed for it staying a yellow or being a red. I think because it's now been given a red, I'm not saying it's wrong. And if it was yellow, I wouldn't be saying it's definitely a red. It's one of those...
You're an in-between sort of. Now, is it also a thing against Arsenal?
No. I think Arsenal have a discipline problem. 3 red cards in 8 games. That's horrific. No title challenger at this point in any season. Yes, however dubious they might have been, there is a mentality issue.
But I just think
a discipline issue. That's the word I'm looking for.
I'm not sure if it's a discipline issue, or I just think that they want it more. The problem is...
no, because Trossard and Rice are kicking the ball away. Again, however dubious they are...
That Rice one, I don't think you can call that.
However dubious they are, it's the letter of the law.
Trossard, I agree. I think Trossard has a discipline issue. I don't think Rice has a discipline issue.
I do. I'm not saying the players individually do. I'm saying as a systematic.
I think they just want everything more.
But it's those dark arts again that they're doing. It's petulance. All of those red cards, Saliba's wasn't petulance. He didn't need to do it. 35 minutes in or whatever it was. He doesn't need to make. They can go 1-0 down. They'll probably recover. Yeah. It's just impetuous and it's naive. That might be the word I'm more looking for. They're showing a naivety that I wouldn't expect from a team going for the title for the third time in a row. This would be, if say this was Chelsea chasing City for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
I'd be like, they're a bit naive. They've not been. A lot of them haven't been in the title race before. This Arsenal team, at its core, have been.
Yeah.
So the red cards that they're getting, it would be a worry for me. It would be a worry for me. I don't know whether it's something that Arteta needs to work on in terms of like just a mentality change.
I think he just needs to pay the refs more.
They can't outpay City.
No, I was going to say Pep can pay more.
Just to touch on Bournemouth quickly, you can only beat who's in front of you.
Yeah.
It took them 20-25 minutes to get a grip on the game, and Arsenal could have gone 1-0 up. Probably should have gone 1-0 up.
Martinelli, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that even when they went down to 10 men, they managed to keep hold of the game for like you say, 20-25 minutes.
I think they could. I know it's hard, but even with 10 men, title challengers win those games. Like title winners. Man City win that game with 10 men. Liverpool, even now, I think, win that game with 10 men. Yeah. Or do more to try and win the game. I don't think Arsenal did enough. I think also, just going back to the Martinelli miss whilst you were pondering that, I think if Sterling's still on, he scores that.
Do you think?
Yeah. That's what Sterling's made his bread and butter from them type of goals.
Sterling came off from what, the 37th minute?
Yeah, about 5-10 minutes after the red. He was a sub made. It's his first start in a system that he's new to. It makes sense. And then because I did originally write that down and I was like harsh, but it's not. It's as much as I want Sterling to do well there.
Tactically, you can't keep him on.
Exactly, he's not. He's the newest player. He's the easiest one to pull.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Do you think the game would have been different with Saka?
No.
No.
Like I said to you, Saka's a very good footballer. I don't know actually.
But he's always the 7 and above, isn't he?
Yeah. I don't know, to be fair. Bournemouth's first goal though was very, very good. That little flick at the front post by Cliver is phenomenal. And Bournemouth looked very well. Very, very well. Very good.
They what did they say on Match of the Day? They basically out-Arsenaled Arsenal because of their set pieces.
Yeah, it was a different set piece as well. It was a very old-fashioned set piece.
Yeah.
Near post flick on.
That's it.
And that's what, to be fair, that's what West Ham tried doing with Declan Rice as well. But didn't work. Southampton, Leicester, you got your notes. I'll see if they hit any of mine.
So, I thought Walker Peters looked really good in that game.
Set up the first one and the second one. Yeah. We had a hand in both goals, didn't he?
Yeah. And
it looks really good. He made James Justin look piss poor at right back.
Yeah.
And he doesn't play that side normally, Walker Peters.
No. And Walker Peters isn't a name that I hear thrown around a lot either.
I like Walker Peters.
I've always known about him, but I've never really paid any sort of attention. But actually, in that game, he looked relatively good. And
going forward, he does look good because he's a better offensive defender than he is defensively.
Yeah,
like so many these days. And against the Leicester team that have wingers that do similar, or fullbacks that do similar, and wingers that don't really help out, he's going to have the space.
Yeah. Do you think there's any talking point around the red card?
No. Well, Ryan Fraser?
Yeah.
No, not all.
11 minutes.
11 minutes he was on the pitch, yeah, I'll read that as well. 11 minutes.
And he got 2 yellows.
No, it's straight red.
No. 2 yellows. He got yellow, then he got a second yellow for the elbow in the back.
Oh, which red card are you talking about?
The Fraser red card.
No, that's not that. No, that's a different game. Fraser's when he pulled back Vardy on the line, open goal. You're thinking of the Jadon Philogene, the Villa red card. That was 2 yellows.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So
that's my fault.
So Ryan Fraser it came back post open goal to Vardy, and
he's pulled his back.
Yeah, no, that's a red card. We'll talk about the Jadon Philogene as well.
A little insight for the future, guys.
Have you got the wrong game then?
No, I've got the right game. I've just because I put 11-minute red card.
Yeah,
he did have the 11 minute.
It was 11 minutes.
I was thinking of the wrong tackle.
Yeah.
So
Cameron Archer scored again.
Yeah.
Another player we'd like to give shout outs to these players. Cameron Archer's a favourite of the channel. He watches. Told me.
Yeah, obviously. I'm getting his signed shirt next week. I'm quite happy that he got started as well. Yeah. Because he came on last game. Scored. Got a start this time. Scored.
Yep.
Is consecutive in a team that realistically aren't showing much.
Well, going forward, I think defensively they're just too open. They're trying to play
in the Premier League, not so much in the games.
They're trying to play out of the back when they can't. Yeah. Like they've got Man City next week, so word to the wise, any FPL players out there, triple captain Haaland.
I wouldn't bother.
Why?
I think it's going to be a really poor game.
Why? It will be a poor game because City are playing Southampton, but it'll be like 7-0.
I don't think it will.
Okay.
Well, you heard it here first. I don't think that Man City are going to dominate. I think they'll dominate. I don't think they'll finish.
Okay.
I think they'll win, but not by a lot.
Okay.
The Vardy penalty shout. So the penalty on Vardy, have his shirt pulled back. Why didn't that happen for Southampton?
I had exactly the same thing. So I think it was 5 minutes in the other box. Jordan Ayew came on same time as Onyu Ucho, striker. The corners come in. Subs at corners always seem like you shouldn't do. They made both.
I've never thought that you were meant to do. I thought you meant to wait until that.
Yeah, but both teams made subs.
Yeah.
Jordan Ayew's marking the other sub that came on, and he's got him on a lead like this.
Yeah, and it's a long time as well.
The whole time wasn't looked at by VAR. 5 minutes later, down the other end, Leicester break, ball breaks to the back post. Vardy's got a tap in, and Fraser just grabs his arm, pulls him back. So Stonewall red card. It's very harsh because it's not a dangerous tackle, but he is denying a goal scoring opportunity, and he's not making an attempt for the ball. So it is a penalty and a red card. Unfortunately, that's the rules that we have. Yeah. I'd like to see some more changes on that personally.
I think because I thought that something was meant to be coming in, and it might have already done it, and I might just be missing it. That if you get a penalty, it's not a red card.
It's called double jeopardy. So if you get a penalty, you have to make a viable attempt to get the ball.
Okay,
if you don't make an attempt to get the ball, it's a red card. So this is why you'll often see red cards not given for a last ditch tackle from a goalkeeper or a centre back that's making an attempt for the ball, but sometimes if they run across and clip their heels, which isn't a bad tackle, they'll just get sent off and a red card because they're not making an attempt for the ball. All they're doing is trying to stop the other player scoring.
Yeah, it's more about taking.
It's cheating. It's basically cheating. That's what they're saying, which is good. I like that aspect of it, but at the same time, it's just so harsh. As a Southampton fan, I'd be fuming. 2-0 up and cruising. Could have been 3. I think they hit the bar.
Sorry, I've just realised as well, looking through my notes. Yeah. You know the Arsenal-Bournemouth game?
Yeah.
You know the penalty they got?
Who? Bournemouth, yeah.
What did you think about that?
I can't remember it, to be honest.
Right, I saw this and I thought this is the biggest...
Who gave the penalty away? The keeper?
Keeper.
Yeah, I do remember.
So, he's run, turned his back, like, diagonally to the keeper, carried on going into the keeper, falls over, gets a penalty. I'm going to be honest... I disagree with it completely. That should not have been a penalty.
What should it have been then?
It shouldn't have been anything.
We should have just carried on.
Yeah, he's gone looking for it, and I don't know why, because he has the opportunity. Like, he's got no one really near him. He could have tapped it round and got the penalty legit.
Yeah.
Or tapped it round and taken the shot.
Is he not trying to get under control?
No. He's got the ball at his feet. He's running towards. Keeper's come down to try and because he's obviously had some sort of heavier touch.
Yeah.
But he would have got the ball. He touches it as the keeper's trying to get it. Keeper's gone for the ball. He's then just ran into the keeper.
I don't recall this at all.
Have a look.
All right.
If anyone else isn't sure about it, have a look. I disagree that it's a penalty massively. If you disagree with me, I don't care. You're wrong. Right, anyway, back onto the Southampton Leicester game.
Yeah, it was a very good game to watch. The neutral.
5 goals.
Southampton throw away.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't be losing in a relegation battle. As much as I've said Southampton finished bottom, and I've taken the piss out of them, you have to win. You can't lose those games.
No, you need to show that you're better than the other relegated.
Yeah, it's similar to the Ipswich Everton game. You can't lose at home to relegation rivals. You can drop points. You can get a draw. It's not great, but where's Southampton getting a win from? If they can't beat Leicester at home from 2-0 up, I tell you where they're getting a win from. They play West Ham in December. You heard it here first. If Southampton don't have a win before they play West Ham, I guarantee it, they will beat West Ham. It's not even up for debate. 100% they'll beat West Ham.
When are they playing you?
In December sometime. I think it's the end of December, like 28th.
What we might do, guys, for that, is we're going to do a watch-along. Because I'm so confident that Mike is wrong.
Only if Southampton haven't got a win.
Only if Southampton don't have a win, we will do a watch along for the West Ham game,
No one wants to see that. I'm going to be fuming.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm so angry watching West Ham.
It's anyway, really enjoyable.
Whilst you're on that touchy subject of West Ham, we'll talk about this briefly because I don't want to talk about it too much. West Ham,
we're going to talk about it for ages.
Are so poor, so poor, and we've got no identity. Complete capitulation. Second half, you concede 3 goals in 7.5 minutes. That is dreadful against a London rival.
Mm-hmm.
Every goal we conceded was avoidable. The first goal, the equaliser, is shocking. It's 4v4. We shouldn't be in that position at 1-0 up.
Yeah.
As soon as Kulusevski picks up the ball, I said to Jamie, so I was in the pub watching it with him, I was like, they're going to score. Goal. It was a great finish.
It was a great finish, to be fair.
Areola got a great touch to it as well, to be fair.
Probably your best player,
Areola,
on that game. I know, obviously, he conceded 4, but I think he did a lot.
I don't think anyone played well, to be honest. Souček done better than what he normally does because he passed the ball a little bit. Rodriguez was good for the first half. Kudus before he turned into Slappy Joe Young.
We'll touch on Kudus in a minute because...
but let's talk about Spurs first of all. As much as, obviously I'm a West Ham fan, but I do a podcast, so I'll be neutral. Spurs were quality.
They were.
It could have been 6-7.
Yeah.
Every time in that second half they went forward, they looked like they were going to score.
They looked a lot better with Son as well.
Yeah. Kulusevski in that 10 role is just unbelievable. He's a breath of fresh air. His composure and ability to create space and move the ball quickly in that 10 is just phenomenal. Unfortunately for Maddison, I think this might be the time where he's on the decline. I don't think he's good enough to start.
He's going to be dropped for a little while because he was subbed off
at 1 or half time. And as a West Ham fan, I was looking at it being like, great.
Do you know what though? When I was looking at it,
yeah,
because obviously he said that he brought Salah on as a tactical change.
Yeah,
and as much as you weren't looking great in that first half, you overran the midfield.
Yeah, you can see our game plan, especially until we went 1-0 up. You can see our game plan. It was working. We was playing on the counter and we were overloads on the back post. Like Pedro Porro was out of position twice. That's why Kudus scored and he missed that chance earlier.
Yeah,
our wingers and our front four is what will keep us winning games.
Yeah.
So it's the transitions that we're poor at. And what he did in taking Maddison off, he allowed the transition to stop because he put Saar next to what's his name, Basuma, and then gave Kulusevski the freedom of the pitch
to have that run.
So that whole gap in front of our back four, in between our 2 6s, in Souček and Rodriguez, Kulusevski just had on strings because they had to push forward, stifling Paqueta.
Yeah.
So that we had no creativity.
And this is the thing is, although yes, Maddison, I think may be on a slight decline. I think he can come back. I think it's just.
I think he needs a move. I don't think he's good enough for Tottenham. I don't think who's he better than in that midfield? I think he could go to a top team. But look, let's talk about the top 4 teams, right? He doesn't get into Chelsea.
No.
He doesn't get into Villa.
City.
Doesn't get into City. Would get into Arsenal now without Odegaard.
Yeah, but then when Odegaard comes back,
he's a bit part player. Yeah. So where's he get in? I wouldn't. Maybe Newcastle. He should have gone Newcastle.
Yeah, that probably would have been a better option for him.
Obviously, he didn't know what was going to happen. I just don't think he suits Ange's style. I know he's been playing well,
but I think he did score against Brighton.
Yeah, but they lost.
Well, yeah,
and he got pulled off again. He's not played 90 minutes this season. He started every game, not been subbed every game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's strange that he's starting and then being pulled off though, because surely you'd think Ange would just go, look, you're going to be on the bench.
You didn't get your minutes in, mate.
That was really good. That's a lot better than your shit on dice.
I've been practicing.
Oh,
Colin, I'll let you talk about Kudus.
What's wrong with that kid?
I ain't got a fucking. There's 3 occasions in one incident.
Yeah.
So when he first gave him the yellow, I was like, that's never a yellow, but I'll take it.
What, on the foul?
Yeah, he gave him a yellow.
That's a red.
And then it went to VAR. Then you see the first slap, well, that's a red. Oh, the push. Then you see the second one, yeah, that's a red. And then you see the stamp at the beginning that starts it off, arguably a red. There's 3 instances that could be red.
The initial foul should have been a red.
Could have been. I think it would have been harsh.
What was that? What's the bald defender that used to play for Real Madrid? Retired.
Pepe.
He did exactly what
he didn't. I know exactly what you're talking about.
The one where he boots in the back. That's what he does.
No, he didn't.
He is not going for the ball in the last kick.
But he didn't boot him 3 times.
He booted him twice.
Yeah, but not like Pepe. That Pepe one is outrageous. The ball's over there and he's looking at the player and he's still booting him.
But Kudus is looking at the player.
Yeah,
Kudus is kicking the player.
Kudus is frustrated.
He lost his head.
Yeah, he'd lost his head. It's a red... It's
a red card from the initial
He knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. If it's a red there, it's slightly harsh, but there's no arguments.
No.
The push in the face, that's a red card. The second push in the face, that's a red card.
I don't know if you saw Richarlison.
Yeah, Salah pushed him and he's nutted back and said it hit Richarlison. Imagine that, just being that guy. Just going over, what's going on? He wasn't even involved. And he got injured.
What was that? And
that's all Richarlison did that whole game.
Then he slapped Salah in the face.
Yeah.
And what was really nice to see was Salah just stood his ground.
Yeah.
For once, you didn't see a player grab his face like he's just been knocked out by Mike Tyson.
Kudus is checked out. He had a poor international break. He was left on the bench for Ghana. They made some weird choices. Really? They made four of their starters were on the bench and they lost. I'm not too sure why, but I know he was frustrated with that. He wants his move. Obviously, he's playing on the left. He doesn't want to play on the left. New style, which isn't working. The only saving grace for West Ham and Lopetegui. We won't sack Lopetegui. As much as I'm saying he's in the sack race, he's in the sack race. We won't sack him for this reason. Yeah. We're never going to be in danger of going down because, unfortunately for them, the likes of Ipswich, Southampton, Leicester, even though Leicester are above us right now, they're going to pick up fewer points, like they will. And also Palace are poor, Wolves are poor at the minute. Everton, I actually think Everton might finish top 10 now. Like the way they're playing, they're getting points. They're getting into McNeil, biggest hater on this channel, but got to give him credit. But we'll get on to Everton. We're talking about West Ham's frailties, and the only reason he won't get sacked is because of those. So, and we're not. West Ham don't sack managers very often. We only do when we're in trouble. We won't be in trouble of going down.
Okay,
is what I mean. Even if we finish 17th, we'll comfortably finish 17th, which is dog shit. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but for what you guys want to be.
No, but for Lopetegui, he need time to instill what you want to do. The problem that I have as a fan now is that I don't know what he's trying to do. I can't see it.
But I don't think the players know what he wants to do. Yeah. And I think that's where the
thing
communication's
with Lopetegui, this is why I like it too, right? My youngest son, last year wanted a drum kit for Christmas. And I was like, I ain't paying £400 for a drum kit. It's going to do my Sweden and I'm going to play with once.
400 quid as well?
400 quid. Yeah. So I was like, fuck it, I'll go on one of these like Temu things.
Oh, yeah,
and, looked great. And this is what I think about Lopetegui. Looked great. CV's quality. And it came, right? This came.
I know exactly what you were going to say.
And the box was about this big.
I feel like a miniature version.
Yeah, so the drum set's like this big. And it was just, that's what Lopetegui is. He looks good. You're not a bad manager if you get appointed by Real Madrid and Spain.
No.
You're not. Fundamentally, you're not. But it doesn't mean you're a good manager for our team.
You look great on the outside, but when you actually come to you...
So we are shit. Lopetegui don't know what he's doing.
He's a small drum kit.
Lucas Paquetá's gone missing. Mikel Antonio may have all been in the crowd.
No,
we were poor. Tottenham very good. Bowen's always again. I like him to Saka. He's always a 7.
Yeah.
He very rarely puts in a bad performance. But the problem is he's not good enough to carry the team.
No.
You need someone like Paquetá or Kudus to have a 7 every game to carry us. And
how long's Kudus off for?
3 games, so he'll miss United.
Is that because of violent conduct?
Oh, minimum 3 games. So straight red for violent conduct is straight red.
They'll investigate that as well.
Minimum. But the investigation, he might, because if we appeal it or if it goes under investigation, it means the red doesn't start until the investigation's finished.
Okay.
So it means he'd play like against United at the weekend. But I think he'll just keep his 3-match ban because he hasn't punched anyone. He hasn't nutted anyone. He's just pushed a couple people.
He accidentally nutted.
Yes, he'll miss United, which is our next 3 games are massive because United are still in transition.
Yeah.
Forest and Everton. United at home, Forest away. I think Everton at home. Or it might be Forest at home and Everton away.
I don't know if you'll get anything out of the Forest game.
The way we're playing, we won't get anything out of any of them.
No,
all of them are playing better than us. But yeah, it is what it is. West Ham is shit, and I now support Man United. Anyway, Fulham Villa is the next game we're going to talk about quickly.
Oh, good. That's the last one I had notes on.
Cool. This is the last game we'll talk about in depth. Great win for Villa. These type of games away to teams like Fulham, top 4 teams win.
Yeah,
and they did. It was ugly, but they deserved it.
It's a scrappy win.
Yeah,
but as a win.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
Morgan Rogers, phenomenal footballer. I really like Morgan Rogers. He's English, isn't he? Yeah, he is. He's got to have a call up soon.
I have no idea if he's English.
Morgan Rogers. He's got to be.
Could be American.
No, he's not.
Oh, right.
I'm pretty sure he's English, but he's got to have a call up soon. Like he's a great player. Really like him.
Okay.
Put him into my dream team, and he scored.
Poster on your wall.
What?
Poster on your wall.
Yeah, he's there. But Watkins scored again. Great header. Very good header.
Yeah. Great game from Watkins.
I wouldn't say great game. He's coming back into form a little bit. Never doubted he's going to score goals. I never said that. What I doubted was his ability to keep his position. I stand by it. John Duran will be starter for Aston Villa.
Duran.
Or he'll get moved. But like big money.
I think he'll get moved.
He'll just sign a new contract. So now they can demand like 70, 80 million.
Yeah, I think he'll get moved and he'll fall off the face of the earth.
Maybe.
I think he looks good because he's at Villa.
Maybe.
But we'll see.
No. I disagree, but okay. We'll see. Did you see Jimenez's goal? Proper old-fashioned, long punt, striker against the defender, shrugs him off, toe poke, bottom corner.
Works.
Yeah, works.
Scores goals.
Yep.
Did you see
the penalty?
The penalty?
Yep. What do you think?
I don't think it's a penalty. I think it's really harsh.
It's a yard away.
He's barely that.
But Matty Cash, we got one against Villa, which was very similar.
Yeah.
And the one against us was slightly further away, but it was very similar. It's like a rebound, and this is a natural position if you're going into a tackle for a lot of people.
You're jumping, you like that.
Yeah, like it was really.
I get that the silhouette, the perfect silhouette.
His arms not out here,
but
look at the appeals on the pitch. Look, I don't think that many people wait. Do loads of people appeal for this one? Not many.
No, not many appealed for it.
Because I know there's one in a different game.
I don't think they thought it was going to happen because the ref didn't call it.
It was just
VAR looked at it.
It's a yard away.
I think it's very, very harsh. And then I think Fulham thought it was very, very harsh, so they passed it back to the keeper.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the worst penalties.
Do you know what that penalty it reminds me of?
Yours.
Yeah.
The one against that team in the cup.
The last penalty I ever took was exactly the same as what Pereira did, and the keeper didn't move, exactly like Martinez. So when the keeper doesn't move, you're like, fuck, I haven't picked a side. You're picking the side for me. If you don't move, I'm fucked.
I just don't know what to do.
And I passed it even more centrally. Yeah. And it was on the floor. His was at least in the air, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean...
And a bit more pace on it, but it was dreadful.
Barely pace on it. Yeah, I think he's obviously gone for it as thought, right, I'm just going to slot this.
Well, we're waiting for the keeper to move.
Yeah, and keeper didn't. And, I mean, Martinez obviously does his standards.
That's my head in. I don't rate Martinez.
Shithousery, didn't he?
He's very good for... If he's in my team, I'd love him.
Yeah.
And I'd say he's the best keeper in the world.
But when he's not.
Yeah, but I think the antics are just too much. He reminds me of Jens Lehmann.
Yeah.
He wasn't that kind of antic guy, but he was always up to something.
I'd say he's more like a Pickford.
No,
because Pickford's a massive shithouse.
Yeah, true.
And so is Martin. True. He saved it. The first thing he does is turn around to... I'm not sure if it was Villa fans. Was it Villa fans? Yeah. It's like, yeah. It's like, come on, mate. I get it. You saved a penalty, but it was the worst penalty ever.
Yeah, it wasn't even...
Save a top corner penalty. Then you can do that. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, just don't be a dick. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, because Fulham went down
to 10 men first,
and then Villa did at the end, and that was the push in the back, which was 2 yellow cards from the sub.
Yeah, which probably I think the second one is harsh. Which we'll talk about the Fellaini one, which is the one you're talking about, because I can't remember the Anderson one. Beginning of the season, the PGMOL came out and said they're going to try, or the PGMOL and the Ref Watch, whatever you call it, came out and said that we're not going to be giving away soft second yellows to try and keep the integrity of the game and the intensity up. If that's not soft, what is? He barely touches him. And on top of that, I'm not even sure who was it. It was Nelson. I'm not even sure Ryan Nelson's getting to the ball. I think he's overrun it. I think he's going off the pitch. Like, it's a harsh second yellow.
No, I do agree it's harsh. I also think it was the positioning of him trying to catch up or whatever he was trying to do. It made it look worse.
Yeah,
and I think that
it's not like it's a shove. It's just it's like he's
running. It's like
and it's a free kick.
Yeah, of course.
It's a free kick. I don't know if it might be a first yellow, maybe.
Yeah.
Second yellow.
It's harsh. But he's young, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. You got to base it as a ref, surely, on the personality of the player. Like, that's Joey Barton. It's a second yellow. Yeah, but VAR don't look at second yellows.
Oh yeah, that's true actually.
That's purely down to the ref.
Yeah, so I suppose you could look at it and go, right, he's not intentionally tried to foul him. It's just a case of he's young. And it's just
trying to stop him, or he thinks he's overrun it.
Yeah, I also think that he's looking for the foul.
Yeah,
because he knows it's going.
Exactly.
So he's like, right, I'm being touched.
I think he'll probably be overturned if Villa appeal it. Yeah.
I don't know if they will appeal it because he's not He's not a starter for him, is he?
No. He's more of a rotation player.
Yeah. So I don't know if
they'll play today or tomorrow whenever they're playing Champions League.
Another own goal. So there's an own goal in the West Ham game.
Oh, yeah, similar as well, wasn't
it? And then, they had another one in this.
It's a Diop, ex-West Ham player.
Yeah. You just love scoring in your own net, didn't you?
He was on for like a minute. It was his first touch.
Yeah.
And he didn't even...
He got subbed on to cover for...
Anderson.
He got sent off.
And he didn't need to touch it.
No.
Does your keeper surely screaming at you?
Keeps getting that.
Because he's right behind him. No player near him.
But
that's the problem with making subs at the back, isn't it? Like...
They've got to try and get straight back into the game, and it'll be from a free kick as well. So
it disrupts the flow of things like it does. But yeah, very good win for Villa. Villa look more and more like a top 4 team, a seasoned top 4 team.
Yeah,
every game I see.
Yeah, I thought they'd be a little bit more affected by
Champions League.
I think
this new format's really helped them.
Yeah,
in that they haven't got home and away against 3 teams.
No,
they got home and away against 8 teams. But it's not the same teams. Every game's a cup final essentially, so they're not planning for. They're not like what they used to say in the Champions League is, win your home games, and you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Now it's not so much because they want away at Young Boys
every game, and you need to.
They want away at Young Boys. Then they got Bayern Munich, whoever they got today. I'm not too sure. Can't remember. But very good so far. Very good squad. Yeah. Unai Emery's done a.
He's done a fantastic job for him. Really,
it's unbelievable. Really, like where they were when he took over. To
where they are now,
and where they could be in the next couple of years.
Absolutely, I mean,
they could be realistically, they could be title challengers in the next 3 years.
I think they could be title challengers. I don't think they'll win it though.
Pep's going at the end of this year.
Do you think? Is he going?
End of contract.
Is he confirmed?
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Also,
I should know that. But
also, the 150 whatever charges. The City might not be in the league. They're still undergoing. They'll get away with it.
Of course they will.
So, there's definitely scope for that because there's going to be a massive transition at Man City when Pep goes because there's no manager like him. Like even
Klopp,
even system based. Like Klopp won't go to City.
I meant I don't think Klopp will go to City. I meant as in managers
no, I meant system based because they'd have to rebrand the whole club. You can't get another manager in to do what Pep does. Like
who is it? Alonso?
He's going Bayern Munich. Or Real Madrid. He'll go Real Madrid after Ancelotti retires.
But I mean, if he's given the opportunity to go City, would he not?
No, he played for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Would you not choose? You choose Real Madrid over Man City?
Maybe, but obviously, you want to. I always thought that managers would want to go to the top leagues and prove they can do it in the hardest leagues. The Premier League is a hard league.
He'd go to Liverpool over Man City because he played for Liverpool.
Yeah, that's true actually.
So I think potentially, but I don't see it. United Brentford. It was a dead rubber of a game. Really, it was probably the worst game of the weekend.
Could have scored early on though.
Yeah, again, Sharda missed the sitter.
Yep.
Brentford's goal was a bit dubious. So De Ligt got a head injury.
Yeah.
And he went off. He got asked to come off a few times because it was bleeding. Like it was right on top of his head. It was bleeding quite a lot.
Really bad as well. Yeah. I didn't think it would bleed that much.
How much footballers bleed. So Brentford's goal. De Ligt was asked to go off the pitch for the 3rd time at a corner.
Yeah, that's.
And Brentford are a good team. De Ligt's arguably their best defensive.
Apart from Maguire.
Who wasn't playing because he's injured. Johnny Evans wasn't playing, I don't think. He might have been, I don't know.
Yeah, but Johnny Evans is 40, he can't play ever again.
What do you do here as a ref? He needs to go off because he's bleeding. It's the rules of the game. If there's an open wound and there's blood on your shirt or your face, you need to go off.
Yeah,
never seen to.
Change shirt and things.
Can they not do it on the pitch as it's a corner?
No,
so he has to come off anyway.
He has to come off because it's head injury and he's getting treatment. He has to stay off because of treatment
until the ref lets him back on.
Yeah,
fundamentally, it's down to the United players to cover that. They know it's coming because he's bleeding. Of course,
but I think in that instance, obviously, it is down to the referee to make his decision. But
you can't leave him on.
It's no. He has to go off 100%. That there's no doubt the referee makes the right decision to send him off. Although the referee knows it's a dead ball.
Yes.
He could stop the watch, he could add extra time on, and because he could have said to the medical team, how long is it going to take?
Yeah, what I think De Ligt could have done is, he knows he's bleeding, just go down on the pitch to receive the treatment, so then that takes longer for the corner to be taken, longer for your team to set, then you go off with the medical team, and it's less likely to have happened.
Do you know what, that's actually a very fair point.
Potentially, but in the moment, obviously, he just wants to stay on. Adrenaline's high. He's not had the best start to his life at Man United, like many people these days. But in essence, Brentford scoring spurred United on to win the game. It was the best thing that could happen to United.
I actually agree.
Yeah. They came out second half. Whatever was said in the dressing room for all of Ten Hag's.
Please don't fire me.
Why do you sound like Hitler?
I don't know.
For all of his frailties and flaws, he said something right in there, because they came out and scored within 2 minutes of the second half. Garnacho out on the left wing where he should be, showing why he should be a left winger. Yeah. And Rashford on the right, or Rashford on the bench even.
Did you hear what Ten Hag came out and said about the media?
No.
He was like,
they're spurring up.
He's like, I don't know where the media are getting all these fairy tales from about me having to be worried about my job. Come on, mate. Don't be an idiot.
You're 14th. Or 12th, wherever they were.
You're in a squad. Well, you've got a team that should be doing so much better.
250 million he spent at United, and they're still where they are.
They're still on the bench as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Højlund came back. Maybe Højlund's what they're missing. He took his goal very well. He did. I really like Højlund. Højlund is one of those strikers, like I alluded to it a few weeks ago, about how you can tell a footballer's playing above themselves or they're playing beneath themselves. You can tell if a player's going to be good or not.
Yeah.
And strikers specifically, because I'm a striker, is how they strike a ball. And if they strike it true or not, more often than not. Yes. Ollie Watkins, for me, doesn't strike it true often enough. He does, obviously, he's a professional footballer. Some will be. The goal for England in the Euros was the best.
Yeah, that was a great goal.
It was a great finish. But Højlund, whenever he gets a chance to strike a ball, he seems to hit it cleanly more often than he doesn't.
Yeah.
Which tells me, because of his work rate, because of his natural tenacity and his build, his pace, everything about him just screams he's going to be a world-class player. It's just whether he gets the time at United, and he will under Ten Hag, but I worry for him when a new manager comes in, will they want a more finished product, because he does need a lot of polishing.
Yeah.
Similar to Garnacho. Garnacho has all the attributes, but there's a lot of polishing that he's doing.
Yeah. I actually think under a different manager they'd be better.
Really?
The problem that you've got is what a manager is meant to do. As you just alluded to, it's very easy for you to spot someone who probably has the attributes to be a world-class player.
Yeah.
We are just average Joes.
Yeah.
You are paid a lot of money to be a manager to bring in the right players with the right calibre for your team. If you aren't able to spot what your average Joe can spot, you're not a good manager. So any manager that comes in will probably have seen it, will do a lot of research into teams, as I imagine they probably would before they start a game, or before they start a new team, because they want to know. I think you've got to see that, and you've got to basically polish him. You've got to make him that finished player.
And they're his targets as well. So he's brought them in with, because when he bought Højlund from Atlanta, I think he was at.
Atlanta.
Yeah, he hadn't had many. He wasn't doing particularly bits. It was his first full season. He scored a few goals, but he's obviously seen something, identified a talent, and been like, I can work with this. So he does back himself to do it. It's just that he's doing it in the pressure cooker that is Manchester United, which has been imploding for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So it is difficult, no matter how good or bad a manager you are,
trying to polish something in a team that everything needs polishing.
Like I know I like to string Ten Hag up, and it's very good for views because Man United's the biggest team in England. So when you talk about him being sacked and stuff like that, people listen, people watch.
Yeah.
But Ten Hag, for me, there is a good manager there. It's just you need to see some consistency. You need to get it. You need to see more. Like at times he's just hitting the panic button like Ollie did.
Yeah.
And he reverts to form. And you don't want to see that. You want to see integrity. You want to see, this is what I'm standing by. At Manchester United, you need to have a system and a style that's identifiable. It isn't right now.
So, I mean, could you look at that as maybe like an Ange?
What, as being identical? Yeah.
Yeah. Like Ange has come in. Yes, he didn't have a great first season, but...
Yeah. But then the flip side of that is that the top managers are able to identify that we can't be so naive to play the same system against every team. Even Pep changes the way Man City plays. So
against certain teams,
At Barcelona, for example, you wouldn't have Pep wouldn't have dreamed of having 4 6-foot plus defenders. In fact, he didn't.
No,
he knows he has to in the Premier League because of the
set pieces,
because the way football's played here. similarly, you can't take that Tottenham team who have decent defenders, decent midfielders, decent forwards, a decent goalkeeper. None of it. There's not one single position that they need to improve on. They have good players, but the system doesn't work for 90 minutes against the better teams.
No.
Because you can't do it. He can't go to Tottenham, you can't go to Man City or Liverpool or Arsenal and play that high line. Like you saw it last year against Chelsea when it went down to 9 men. They stayed on the halfway line and everyone was giving them credit for it. No, it's fucking stupid. Sit back. You're going to lose the game. You're not going to get anything out of it. Swallow your pride and be like, get back.
Yeah,
and the top managers do that. And you have seen snippets of that with Ten Hag, just to go back, because in the FA Cup final you saw it. They were a better team against Man City. They deserved to win. True. The Community Shield this year, I know it's a hyped up friendly, they were a better team for large parts.
Yeah.
So he has got the tactical nous. That's why I always allude to, is it the players or is it something in the background at United that's toxic? Like, I don't personally think it's down to Ten Hag.
No, I think there is a rotting core at United.
Yeah.
I don't think. I know, obviously, we give the players stick, but we give the players stick because they're on the pitch playing.
Rashford was very good at the weekend. So
he was.
I know I like to dig him out quite a lot, but he was very good.
I think he was involved in Garnacho's goal, wasn't
he? And to be fair to Rashford, he's actually been better this year.
Yeah.
In a bad bunch. I saw Bruno giving a team talk at the beginning of the game or beginning of the second half.
His flick was really nice.
Yeah.
For Højlund's goal.
Yeah. But Fernandes is a phenomenal player, and this is why.
But he's petulant.
Yeah. But I was speaking to a Man United fan last night, so I was working with him, and he plays football, and he was saying, this is what we have to put up with Fernandes. We know that he's not going to be present in every game like your Odegaard's, because Odegaard is another one that's 7, 8 out of 10 every week.
Mm-hmm.
Fernandes isn't. Fernandes will be a 5 for free, but then he'll be an 11 out of 10 3 weeks in a row because of the goals and the creativity he does possess, which is the peaks and troughs or the pros and cons of sticking or gambling. Like Mesut Ozil was very much the same at Arsenal. Like, he wasn't there every game, but when he was there, he was there.
Like he was quality,
and that's what Manchester United have. And I've always overlooked it in Bruno because I see his petulant side.
And it just sort of annoys you, and then you don't focus on him because you're like, he's annoying.
Taking yourself out of that.
Look at it as more of an overview, like out of the box sort of look at
it as it is. He's a phenomenal player that can win games on his own. Paul Pogba was the same.
Yeah,
can win games on their own.
Paul Pogba's coming back as well.
I know, he's appealed his ban. Won't come back to the Prem.
No, but he's
a free agent though.
Yeah, he's.
Watford might sign him.
Maybe.
$400,000 a week. Everyone else, you're not being paid.
Yeah, him and Sissoko in the middle.
You'd win.
We would.
You'd probably win against Luton. Ipswich Everton game.
Yeah.
Another game. You can't be losing this game as Ipswich.
No.
One thing I want to talk about, other than McNeil was very good. Calvert-Lewin was very good. Everton deserved their win. 100%. Ipswich weren't very good. But Ipswich got given a penalty and it was overturned. Did you see it?
I've watched the highlights of this.
The penalty was given, and McNeil was deemed to have fouled Jack Clarke. Coming in the centre of the box, he's dribbled, he's weaving through, and he's gone to take a shot.
Yes, I do remember this one. Yeah.
McNeil's foot is in front of the ball, and Clark's kicked the back of McNeil's foot. McNeil hasn't touched the ball. He just placed his foot in front of the ball. The penalty's given, and then it's overturned, deeming that Jack Clark's initiated the contact, which,
when you look at it,
in theory, is right.
Yeah,
but I think it's a penalty. I still think it's a penalty. You can't step across someone without touching the ball, and you don't.
I think this is where we alluded to the VAR getting too involved.
Yeah, too involved.
Because you have to slow down, change the angle of everything.
It's not clear and obvious, is it?
No.
No one even appealed the penalty when it was given.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, when you do slow it all the way down, you zoom in at where the legs are and everything like that, you can see that he has kicked the back of his leg.
Yeah.
Or he's clipped it going through to take his shot or whatever. So, yeah, in the perfect world, that is not a penalty because the perfect decision has been made on it. But, like you say, the position of the player and the referee's initial call, it should have been a penalty.
Yeah, I mean,
I think to overturn it is harsh.
Overturning it is harsh, exactly that. So if it's not given, fair enough. Leave it not given. If it's given, fair enough.
Yeah,
like it's
you'll get arguments on both sides of it, but
this just draws back onto refs. Like, we think refs are worse now because of VAR, because all these decisions were overturned.
Yeah,
there was 4 or 5 this week.
Mm-hmm.
So Saliba red, Fraser red, This penalty.
Kudos, red.
I don't know. Liverpool second penalty.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Also, the kudos, red. How that wasn't a red.
Liverpool penalty.
Yeah. How was the red not given in kudos straight away?
We're not talking about that anymore.
I know, but sorry, it just annoyed me. Anyway.
If I'm being a West Ham fan. But good Ipswich are in the dumps, mate. They're no longer fighting like they were. I think the game against West Ham really took it out of them.
Do you remember we touched on a little while ago about what's the word? When you're looking at things, perspective.
Yeah.
Even for me, the perspective for Ipswich is I wanted them to win. They were underdogs and I always wanted to win. Now I see it as like they've sort of got here, but it's almost now they're showing they don't deserve to be here.
Even you as a Watford fan have got to say Luton did more last year.
100%. I mean,
Ipswich don't have 1 point, they have 4 points or 3 points. Yeah. Crystal Palace have 3 points, Southampton have 1 point, and Wolves have 1 point. That is shocking.
Yeah, although actually saying that, Luton didn't have any points until Christmas.
Well, they lost every game?
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I'm pretty sure.
I think you
they were on the verge of having the worst. Yeah.
But I don't recall it being that close.
They might have had a couple of draws.
You sure it was Sheffield United?
No, Luton were dog shit. Until after Christmas.
Luton weren't on. No, it must be Sheffield United.
Luton weren't. Trust me.
I don't trust you. I think you're
Google it then.
You Google it. You're the one that's saying it. Not my phone's. I don't know where it is.
Well, I'll Google it. You can touch on the Newcastle Brighton game.
Newcastle Brighton. Newcastle were banging trouble. Couldn't take their chances. They got done by Brighton what they did to Spurs.
Yeah.
They got rickrolled. And Danny Welbeck rolling the years is like a fine wine. 34 years old, and his goal. Great goal. Shoved off the defender with a bit of strength and great finish. Danny Welbeck's finishing like a plumb striker.
I think he's coming back to his own.
He's injured. He went off on a stretcher, gas and air. Didn't look good. Back injury. He's old, so that could be a slip disc, hip replacement, whatever.
Good old Antonox.
Last but not least, Forest against Palace was a massive game for Glasgow last night. Set up not to lose against Forest, which I thought he might do.
Yeah.
Especially with the players Forest were missing. I would have liked to have seen him go a little bit more attacking.
Yeah.
Like they were missing Gibbs White, their best player. He still sat in, didn't create much. Just his plan at the minute, Glasner, seems to be give the ball to Eze and he'll do something for us.
He wants him to continue that.
And that's fine. Eze is that player.
Yeah.
But he's stifled in a team that lacks creativity now.
It's all good that he can create.
Yeah.
But he's got to have
exactly
the surrounding to be able to finish off the job.
The Eddie Nketiah signing doesn't seem to be working.
No. Which surprised me. I thought Nketiah would do better.
It was one of those. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. I'm not surprised that it's not started very well. The biggest issue for Palace, though, is the fact they sold Joachim Anderson. Like, they miss his leadership. It's not necessarily just for
what he can do on the pitch. It's about the mentality he brings up.
And one thing that Anderson is overlooked for is his range of passing is very good for a centre back. Yeah, like you'll see at Fulham now. His long range passing as a centre back is elite. But £30 million is a lot of money for a 31-year-old or 30-year-old, however old he is. So I can understand why, but they put 23 back into Lacroix, which he could be a very good player, and he's very good on FIFA. He's fast, but
he's not showing anything in the real world.
He's not Premier League proven, so you need to give him a few months at the very least. Then on top of that, Guehi's going to go. Whether it be in January or in the summer, he's going to go.
He's going.
So now you need another centre-back. Their other centre-back got injured. Mm-hmm. So it's just... Palace, I think Palace fans must be fuming. Like, West Ham fans are fuming, but Palace fans must be even more so, because the way they finished last season, everyone was expecting them to really kick on.
Yeah, so have a really great start to the season at least.
Falling off a cliff is an understatement.
Yeah.
Like, it's absolutely diabolical. And on that note, what was Luton's fault?
They had 12 points by Christmas Day, and then they won on Boxing Day, so they had 15 points by New Year's.
And was it Sheffield United who were bottom?
I didn't actually see the table. I've just had to look through their results and count the points.
Okay.
I also
no points till Christmas is outrageous.
I think my natural rivalry to them.
Bias came out.
Yeah, it came out a little bit because they actually did draw against Arsenal.
Luton played well,
and they lost to Man City 4-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, Champions League.
Who are Arsenal playing? I have no idea.
It's one of those names that I can't say.
I might watch Celtic again. Always good for goals.
I'll watch the Arsenal one.
I'll watch both, but because I watched one on my phone. And,
oh yeah, you're at work, and
yeah, working again.
I'm not. I'm off now. I've had 11 days on, and I'm now off for 4.
Lucky you.
I've just done 11 days. That's why I look as haggard.
4?
Huh?
You got 4 days off?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why I look haggard.
Haggard?
Haggard, yeah. Like a homeless person.
Yeah, you do a little bit.
I know. I haven't had a haircut. I haven't had a shave. Yeah. I haven't showered in 5 days. That's a joke.
I hope that's
that is a joke.
But we will, with that, we'll wrap it up there.
On that joke.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So our giveaway, there's a slight change. So I have left the team that myself and Nicholas paid for. But we will also be doing the giveaway. The difference will be that we'll go and watch Nick play, and I will be a spectator, which Nick doesn't know. And,
I didn't know.
And we'll still do the same, everything the same. But
I mean, look, to be honest, what we could also do is we could just do a random league away day for whoever wins. So I'll give them this choice. So I haven't spoken to Mark about this. Right. So I thought we could just literally, for the winner, they can choose one of two things. They can either come and watch me play, some amateur Saturday league football, or we will go to a random league away day, like a non-league, like small thing.
So what we could do actually on this, we could go to them. We could go to them.
So wherever you are, we'll come to you. We'll take you to a local league away game, like Harrogate Town or something like that.
Yeah.
And we'll just go enjoy some non-league football. Yeah, that's proper football.
Smashed it. So that's a slight change. We'll come to you and we'll do an away day near you. And you can pick the team. Obviously, it's got to be near you, so you got to let us know where you're from.
And please don't pick Premier League. We want like lower than League One, because otherwise
we want to go somewhere we've not been. Like we want to go to the trenches.
We want to see some teams have some proper football. None of this. Oh, we've got millions of pounds worth of money.
Yeah, exactly that. So to get involved, just subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on any of the videos.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think of the pod. Also, all our socials are in the description.
Yep.
And the video. Our Super 6 isn't, but Nick's going to give you how to join our Super 6.
The Super 6, obviously, if you've got the app, you go on Super 6 and search for the Sunday League Effect. You can join our league. It's open for anyone. At the moment, I am absolutely smashing Mike.
I'm getting battered every week.
Which is great, because I don't have the knowledge, as you probably all are aware, that Mike does.
Apparently I don't know, so it doesn't matter.
Sometimes you just got to be lucky.
Anyway, we're both stretching, both tired. So like and subscribe. We'll see you next week. Peace.